the body is indeed the temple, and that the pattern given in the mount is that pattern of the individual entity or self as it is set up and hedged about, and yet is the place where man meets his Maker. Keep true, then, to self, setting the ideal in him that is the pattern after the pattern shown thee in the mount. Thy body is the temple of the living God. It is there that he has promised to meet thee, not in the mount, not in a church, not in an edifice, but in the temple of thy heart, thy mind, thy soul. Let the light of thy smile, of thy voice, ever be as an indication that ye walk and talk oft with thy Lord. Say not, who is my Lord, but rather, my elder brother, Jesus the Christ. Remember the pattern in the mount, in self, in the physical body, in the mental body, in the spiritual body. That is the mount. So long as there is perfect coordination in the mount, all things work together for the good of the mount. When there is the rebellion in the mount, then there is disconnection, destruction, disconcerted effort, and the coordination, the cooperation of activity is made awry. Hence death in the physical ensues, by the disintegration, through the disconcerted action, through the incoordinated action, and this mental and physical and spiritual. So in overcoming all he set that as the throne or the mercy seat that is within the temple, as the pattern, as in the mount, and in the mount, I will arise and go to my Father, in him, through him. I will. Remember the pattern in the mount, how that as one enters into the Holy of Holies within self, there one meets the Maker, there he will counsel and guide and direct thee. Then meditate and pray upon those things that are shown thee. For the vision is as true as ever to the man of God, Moses in the mount, or in the plains of Moab, or to the apostles in the holy mount, or to any of those that were called for an activity. Glory not in the call, but rather in the service that thou may do to and for and through thy fellow man. To bring a desired thing or condition into manifestation, is it advisable to visualize it by making a picture, or just to hold the idea in prayer and let God produce it in his own way, without our making a pattern? The pattern is given thee in the mount. The mount is within thine inner self. To visualize by picturizing is to become idol worshippers. Is this pleasing with thy conception of thy God that has given? Have no other gods before me? The God in self, the God of the universe, then meets thee in thine inner self. Be patient and leave it with him. He knoweth that thou hast need of before ye ask. Visualizing is telling him how it must look when you have received it. Is that thy conception of an all-wise, all-merciful Creator? Then let rather thy service ever be, not my will, O God, but thine be done in me, through me. For all is his. Then think like it, and most of all, act like it is. Why should conscious freedoms from this condition have only been evident during my residence in Penna? Through the vibrations that have been set by the entity itself. Why, ye may ask, did the Master love to be in Galilee when the house of the Lord his God was in Jerusalem? Why did he love to be alone in the mount? This within the self of this individual entity and others brings the vibrations with which it attunes to the variations in soul, mind, body. This is better accomplished in some particular place or position where there may be the same attunement of the vibrations of the body. What dost thou desire in thine heart? that ye may play with those things that would enter in? Or do ye seek to glorify thy Father in heaven? Would ye speak with the sons of men, or would ye speak with the angels of light? Then, as has been shown thee, as from the pattern in the mount by him, as given, show thyself approved unto what is thine conception. Not this, that, or the other one. For God must be thine own God, even as there is the herald in the air. Draw thine self close to the activities of the Father, and thy developments that thou hast need of, to make for the better manifestations of his glory in the earth, will be thine. Would that all souls should know that God, the first cause, the first principle, would have those forces manifested in the experience of all, that they may be one with him through the love that has been patterned for all, as in the mount, as in thine own body, as in the body of him that came into the experience, that we through him might know the Father, having the advocate with the Father, or the knowledge, the consciousness, the awareness that he dwells within. He has promised to meet all after the pattern in the mount. What is this? That thou knowest well. For it was given that ye draw nigh unto me, and that the thoughts in the mind, as the desires in the heart, be spiritualized in thine purpose towards thy God in thy fellow man. For no man may hurt thee, wilt thou but know thy soul is of God. For what may be done to the body passeth away, but that which is a mark upon the soul endureth. Then, what art thou doing with thy soul as toward thy Maker? Rememberest thou all that has been given as to the manner in which the individual finds self? Did Moses receive direction, save by the period in the mount? Did Samuel receive rather than by the meditating within his own closet? Did David not find more in the meditating within the valley and the cave? Did not the Master in the mount and in the garden receive the answers of those directing forces? These as directions, these as omens, these as signs only, and the direction from the inward closer walk within inner self and thy purposes and thy desire. Are they in accord with that which ye would present before the throne of mercy and grace to him who is the giver and maker of all? Then thy spirit bears witness with his spirit in the directions that ye shall take. What organizations or what channels should I use to do my cosmic work, and to give out the spiritual light that can be reflected through me? Through that of the White Brotherhood, as is established in the Mount, for the entity has approach to the Holy Mount, also among those associated in the school, wherein the expressions were given, that man may make manifest his love for God and man. Atlantic University.